Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. I'm Handington and today we're continuing Cookie Wars! Now, I forget where we had last left off, but it's a brand new day, and that means I have brand new energy, and I am ready to do all sorts of other great things. Hopefully this stream will go better than... this episode will go better than the others. I say stream because I'm holding my phone in the same manner that I would stream with my little setup. Sometimes I hold my phone, sometimes I have it propped up. Either way, we are going through this. Just gonna wait for it to load. This is the first time I'm going to be playing today, so... Yay! Receive a daily gift. You get to watch all of my things this time. You get to see all of the daily events. Now, I am kind of getting tired of this opening cutscene every time I go in, so I think I'm gonna skip it forever. We'll watch it almost until the end one more time, because it's super cool. And the Champion Muscle Cookie, who I thought was a brand new cookie, but is actually just a champion version of the other one, comes in and throws, punches things, and then Peach Cobbler cobbles things, and then they all start to run. Is Tiger Lily in this? I didn't see her before. It's possible she is. I haven't seen her in any of the PvP modes or anything like that. Or Dark Choco. Oh, and that was Mudman, and then the flying thing. There's the Jellied Man Mandragora, or whatever. We're going to skip, don't show again, and then skip. So, we got to see that one last time before I ended this. Today's daily reward, number 10, 2,000 crystals, and we get a 10% gold bonus. Woohoo! Great! You've received all possible rewards. Rewards. Why is it that I slur so much while I do this? Oh, I know, because I speak super fast when I'm doing these. I don't know why. I just feel like talking extra fast when I do this. Calm down and then go slower. Thank you for playing Cookie Wars every day. I have been. You're welcome. Hey, a login reward. Woohoo! I'm getting so close to finishing all of these. I did the, fuse tons of B units. Because I've been leveling them all up in the meantime. I've also been able to enhance some treasures. A difficult one to do is get 3 stars on stage 7. That one is probably the one that will be the least likely to have. I also got silver rank, but then I lost all of the extra things, so I lost my silver rank. But I got it once, which was enough to unlock a whole bunch of other things. So I'm happy about that. We have the elemental dungeons that'll take a few days to clear, and then try enhancing a donut. We'll enhance some more donuts after we get some gacha stuff. Woohoo! Free things! Come on. Come on. What are we gonna get? What are we gonna get? Something useless. Oh, not useless. You threw me off there. You threw off my groove. Purchase. Alright, a new pet. Let's see who it's gonna be. Square Watermelon. A good pet. I am surprised. And then one treasure chest. Treasure key. This could be anything good or bad. Let's see. What are we gonna get? What's it gonna be? Gummy scarf. Okay. Well, we got 2 out of the 3 being great. Even then, any kind of treasure is still good to have anyway. Woohoo! Extra bonus items. Extra bonus items. Then we'll enhance that donut. Because I have an extra one to enhance soon. Yay! It's extra gold. That's useful, because I lost a ton of gold enhancing units. But I made up that gold again from the reward from the mission or whatever. The Mystic Puzzle. Gold reward. I managed to get it back again. Elemental dungeon, yes. Red dungeon. This will let me acquire more powerful things. I think I'm going to use my B team here. It's not the A team, it's the B team. Aha. I'm going to not spend entire episodes just focused on talking about the cookies individually, and instead just sprinkle in little bits of talking about the different spells and such in between other episodes. So right now, a couple things I want to say. I actually wrote down a list of extra things I needed to mention. Moonlight has been buffed. She got a whole bunch of different buffs, and now she is absolutely fantastic. So now I've switched up my main team to include her. I got rid of the log roll because I found that it costing 4 mana was throwing me off a little bit, and I like to be able to not wrap it up, but scroll through my different choices a bit quicker, because there were points where I had to send out something with 4 mana, and it would take a little longer, and I just wanted to scroll through all of my units. It was taking a little bit more time. So now I have the little rain cloud instead, my good old trusty electroshock. So here are all sorts of other things. I have the poisonous swamp, and I was able to upgrade it. So, yeah! This was originally super, super powerful, but after the update that they increased Moonlight Cookie's strength, they have incredibly decreased the Soda Swamp's strength, to the point where its damage now, at its absolute top maximum, like S+, fully leveled up, is now weaker than it was at its weakest grade before. Was that the Soda Swamp, or was it Cotton Candy Cookie, actually? No, I think that was Cotton Candy. The Soda Swamp has been very, very nerfed, but it will damage an area. Basically, it's like spikes in some other game where you'd walk over it. It causes a little bit of damage while you're there. It's able to hurt the base. It's able to hurt cookies more than the base. So it's just a decent spell. Less decent now. Soda is good, but not always good. Stay away from the Soda Swamp, for it might suck you down entirely. Yeah, sometimes a bit of soda is good, but not too much. Not too much, or else it's not good for you. Now, I don't recall if I had talked about all of these before. The crystal, I think I talked about this. Yeah, that's right, because that one's like the clown car. I also got a brand new thing, the Mana Jam, which immediately makes me think of Secret of Mana and the Royal Jam. So, this one produces 1 mana at given intervals. You send it out, it'll give you a little bit of mana over time. This one, I would say, is only useful if you have it at S+. This is because it costs 5 mana to send out, and that is very expensive, and then you get back more mana in the end, but if it gets destroyed, or if something happens to it, then it's really not very useful. So, it really just depends on what you'd feel like. I would not recommend using Mana Jam unless you have it completely maxed out to its absolute limit. Otherwise, it's not useful enough. Guess what Mana Jam is filled with? Mana! It's actually quite tasty. Ah, yes. I don't know what the flavor of mana tastes like. Anyway, I also have Vampire Cookie, which is nice. He attacks nearby enemies with his cape, and each attack slightly restores more HP, which has also been buffed since the update. So, he's able to steal a little bit of health from people. He has good health, does okay damage, which, considering that he's able to steal health to restore himself, dealing less damage, but being able to deal more damage of a lower quantity, works out, especially against other weaker enemies. So he's able to get through Biscuit Bunnies a bit easier. He's decent against them. He's a bit more expensive, though, so just keep that in mind. And he also doesn't do that much damage, pretty much. He's decent. He's decent to have around. The story. The known story. High-quality grapes were aged for a long, long time to make this cookie. You'll notice Vampire Cookie by his pale face and laid-back pose, relaxing with a nice glass of grape juice and pondering the meaning of life. Let me pour you some juice. They can't say wine on here, so it's just aged grape juice. It makes you feel better. I think I talked about the Devil Cookie being very strong. Yes, I did. Onion Cookie, did I talk about? Yes, I think so. I think so. I can't recall. You know what, I'm gonna skip over her anyway. Then Cotton Candy Cookie, and now we also have another new cookie, Apple Cookie. I have not used her yet, but I've seen her a little bit in PvP. She's not too strong. Floats in the air and then blows bubbles containing apple bombs. When they pop, they inflict area damage. She flies. She's an air unit. She's able to create little bubble bombs. The bubble bombs will actually just stay there for a long time until somebody runs into them. So you could have somebody who doesn't touch one of the bombs, and other times somebody who could. So it kind of works out okay. I would not recommend using her very much, though. She is very weak. She doesn't cost 3 or 2, which, if she cost less mana, then I would definitely say she's worth it, but she costs 4, and there are many better units to send out. As refresh as the winds of May... What? As refresh as the winds of May, Green Apple Cookie loves blowing bubbles and apple-shaped balloons. What a cute pie. Let's blow bubbles! Yeah. Not very useful. And then we have the awesomely awesome Blackberry Cookie. She sends out ghosts to attack flying and ground units, and her ghosts can scare away enemies. She is not too strong, and she doesn't have very much health, but she works well as one of those utility cookies, and now that Cotton Candy Cookie is practically useless, which I should have mentioned, they debuffed Cotton Candy so much that now, at her strongest at this point, is still weaker than her absolute weakest before the update. So Cotton Candy Cookie is basically a useless cookie now. Her main skill is so worthless. So that strategy that I talked about before, out the window. But Blackberry Cookie here, they were somewhat similar. She is able to send cookies far, far back. So when she possesses one, they immediately run all the way to the other end. They don't get possessed, so nobody else can hurt, the opponent can't hurt them when they're possessed or whatnot. However, she is very useful at being able to get units away from you. So you send her out if you want, like, a strong cookie, like if Moonlight is getting closer to you, you send her out and then BAM! They just flee super far. And then she usually ends up dying right afterwards. But she's one of those, cookies that are just like a skill. Pretty much. And then you can give her a pet or something to be able to do some extra damage. I would not recommend the ghost. I would recommend one of the stronger pets to be able to deal like 1 or 2 extra hits before she dies, because otherwise extra ghostly damage, it's not going to do too much else. She always wears a nonchalant look, and other cookies might think she is hard to approach, but looks are deceiving, for she is kind and sincere. She has the amazing ability to complete tasks in short amounts of time, as if she had more than 2 hands. Ooh, did you need my assistance? She is awesome. And goth. Awesomely goth. And I think we talked about Cherry Blossom before. There was Bly. Why can I not speak today? Anyways, I also have the Bee Bunch. Don't send these out. Just don't. They're extremely expensive for things that are very weak. Send out like 5 bees or 4 bees. They don't deal much damage at all. As if one wasn't enough, there's a bunch of them. Take cover, and don't. They're not very strong. And unlike the other cookies that can be boosted by donuts and pets, this is about as strong as they can be. This is why Biscuit Bunny being so cheap and being able to... Oh no, wait, you can boost it with donuts. My mistake. But that's why Biscuit Bunny being so cheap works so much better as fodder. They're just useless. Don't keep them around. And the Biscuit Bunny Bunch, it's up to you whether you want the extra mana. If you have things that help you restore mana a bit faster, then I guess you could try to use Biscuit Bunny Bunch. Because at their strongest here, they're decent. I still prefer the other Biscuit Bunny Bunch, the singular one, where they just send out 3 as opposed to the triple here, which sends out 5. I know that's confusing, but still. You can use them if you like. I would not recommend it. And then our trusty little friend, the Storm Cloud. A massive research to find ways to use it as a source of electric power is underway. I forgot to read. I did that out of order. It strikes enemies with lightning, although the damage is weak, the area of effect is pretty large, so you're able to hit a whole bunch of things in a pretty wide area. It doesn't do too much damage. There are other things that do a bit more. I swap between this and the log. I like the log because it also knocks back some cookies and deals lots of damage. The range is a bit better than it seems, so I like the log, but this I can just scroll through much quicker. This one I can just send out and then bam, I can get out another unit. It costs half as much as the other one. I'm just partial to it. Excuse me, I would actually not recommend... Oops. I would not necessarily recommend lightning unless you really feel like it, but it can be useful, especially to take out a whole bunch of weak units. which is the benefit to it. So if they swarm you with pets, or if you're doing a level with lots of little weak enemies, then lightning is able to help wipe out all of them. And you can place it wherever you want, too, even behind the red zone. So, useful overall. And the candy turret, which I found out, if you send this out, then the Kamiho cookies will target this if they haven't targeted another base yet. So you can actually send out one of these to take damage instead, which is super useful. They deal a lot of extra damage to things over and over. These are absolutely fantastic. Despite them having lots of HP, they deteriorate over time, rather fast. So you send it out, and then you hope for the best. This is an absolutely great unit. It costs only 3. I definitely recommend getting the candy turret. Want some candy? Take it! Pachoo, 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 and then it kills you. Bunny house. Not good. Not worth using as well, because it defeats the purpose of having the biscuit bunnies. Because it sends out one biscuit bunny at a time very slowly. Even though it has a lot of health and it decreases over time, and that takes a while for it to decrease. Not worth it. Don't send it out. Don't use this. Summons biscuit bunnies. A cozy home for biscuit bunnies. How many do you think can fit in there? Apparently quite a lot. It's super cute, especially to imagine a whole bunch of bunnies sleeping in a little warren on top of each other. That's cute. And then another support cookie here is Rockstar Cookie. I'm spending way longer on this talking about cookies than I had intended to. Whoops. So he shoots faraway music at faraway enemies, so he's good at range, and he's able to boost Cookie's hit speed around him. So he is a support cookie. He's not a normal cookie that acts as support. He is a specific support cookie. Pretty useful, I'd say. Decent health, decent damage. Overall, good choice to have. Hits air and ground. Good range. Pretty solid. Pretty solid as a 4. It was Rockstar Cookie who discovered the one true sound of rock and roll inside the oven. He is not only an incredibly talented musician, but musician. I said that wrong. Musician, but also a master of spectacular performance. Let's rock! I imagine him having like a Ringo Starr Australian accent. Should I continue this? Or should I end the episode? I'll do one more cookie and then we'll end the episode. Ninja! Who just got a boost in Cookie Run Oven Break with the new costume as well as the new skill that he has. I don't actually think he's that good of a cookie, even though he has been boosted with stuff. I still think some of the other cookies are better, but he's decent. He's better. He's much more usable now than he was before, which is very important, especially for a rare cookie who got a magic candy boost. But that I'll save that all for the next Oven Break stream or whatever. So he throws shurikens to attack faraway enemies. He has strong damage, very weak health, but he attacks from a far distance. He also deploys with 3, so he's good to keep in mind for sending out quickly. So, if you want him out a bit faster, you want some damage from far away, he's okay. I think there are better things to save up for. Like, I would recommend, I think the donut, what's his name? Space Donut. I think Space Donut is a bit more useful if you're gonna send out a ranged unit. But otherwise, it's decent. Oh, I would also recommend Rockstar Cookie over him, even though he's a bit faster to deploy. But you know what? If you only have him, then he's a useful choice. Just as making perfect dough requires diligent kneading, tireless training is of equal importance on the path of the ninja. Even after perfecting the art of the shuriken, Ninja Cookie still practices daily, faster than the wind. Alrighty. Did I talk about Carrot Top Cookie? Don't use him. He's at his max here. Does lots of damage far away, but he costs 4 and he's very weak. Honestly, he is really not worth it. I don't know why, but whenever you send him out, you lose. He's not, like, stat-wise, he's really not that bad. Yeah, especially if you give him a boost of health, but I don't know, he's just not very good. He has a high hit speed, which is good. He's able to hit from far away. He's just not that useful. I don't know why, but it sounds really good, but I just would not recommend him. Also, his hair looks kind of like bacon. Sweet cinnamon powder lightly scatters each time this cookie swings his cape. As long as there's at least one cookie watching, the show must go on. Time for some magic tricks. So, yep, I'd say that just about does it for this episode. Spent more time talking about the cookie bios than anything else, but I believe it's that time again. If you like what I do, don't be shy to give a thumbs up. Have a pleasant day, everyone, and this is Handington, signing off. Bye!